it's still okay. I probably shouldn't have updated my phone before starting this. I was dumb, but whatever. Phone needed to be updated. Say hello if you arrive. I can't see on my phone what's going on, nor can I share it out to groups until my phone's done updating. I see I have viewers. I don't know who's viewing now. If you could say hello so I know if the chat's working. Oh, I should turn on lights too. That would help, huh? Maybe make that. Hey, Jen Nichols, how are you? I'm going to turn on the other light. I'll be right back. Okay. Hey, Anthony Soriano, how are you? And Stephen David. Oh no, you have COVID, Stephen? Everybody send some positive vibes towards Stephen Davidson Olsen. He's got COVID. Are you in the US or in Mexico, Stephen? That sucks. Now the dog wants to come in. The minute I shut the door, the dog wants to come in. Come on. Come on, Ben. You want to come in? Come on. Alrighty. Hi, Bobby. That's horrible. Yes to what? You're in the US or yes, you have the COVIDs? That sucks. Do you know where you got it? Oh, you're in Minnesota. That's no good. I'm so sorry. Hey, Sharon Wisdom, how are you, dear? I'm charging my, not charging, updating my phone, so I can't share this out to groups right now, but I'm trying to go live early because I have a house, oh, it's time to get up. I have a house guest here staying, and so we're supposed to go out to dinner tonight, so I won't be able to be on later tonight, so I'm trying to do it now and get on and get this, give everybody a chance to get any charmings if any of my Patreon subscribers want a charming or anybody wants to purchase a charming. I'm here, ready, and available. That sucks, Stephen. We've been, my friend has been visiting, so like we went to the river walk the other night. It was kind of spooky. There was a lot of people there. A lot of people were masked, right? But it just didn't feel like people were behaving in a pandemic. I mean, we probably shouldn't have been there either. Hi, Leslie, how are you? But it was, you know, he wanted to go to the river walk, so we went. And it was beautiful. It was fun to go do, but it was just sort of surreal because everybody was sort of in masks. Some people weren't. There's a lot of restaurants there, so everybody was seated outside without masks on, and it was kind of strange. Hi, Diane Welch. How are you? Oh, no, you got it at work. Oh, I'm so sorry, Stephen. Just hold it tight and stay safe. Take really good care of yourself. From my understanding, from the people that I've heard of that actually have it or have gone through it, it's pretty rough. I also have got some new charms over the last few days while I've been out. I could share those with you guys too, to add to the charm box. The other dog wants to come in. 1 second, sorry. Come on. Come on, hurry. Hurry. I know, come on. We need your snoring. Come on. Good girl. Hey, Tammy Sylvester, how are you? So we're doing charmings early tonight, guys. If anybody wants charmings, I hope the internet holds. It seems to be okay. We'll see. I don't know, Jen, Nichols, Tammy, you guys are both watching on YouTube. If either of you guys want to cash in your charmings, you certainly can for the month of November. We only have today, and then the 29th will be the last day for that to happen. If anybody wants to purchase a charming, you can speak up, and I will put the link in the chat so that you guys can buy a charming. They're $25 each. I can only be on, hey Jackie Holhauser from Sonoma, I can only be on about an hour. So, because we have plans at 4 o'clock my time, and it's just now 3. We have to get going by about 4 o'clock to get where we need to go for dinner. Like a bad time to get on. Okay, now it's green. So I'm going to switch cameras and we're going to try and get this done. Alright, so general for Tammy. Okay, let's see what's going on for Tammy. Hold on, let me straighten this out. Let me put the chat box up. Okay, so what do we got going on? We have an L, we have an O, we have a T, and we have an E. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Fours are usually about stability in my book. Let's see here. Timmy, I don't know I kind of get a funny feeling about this. I feel like there's some resistance, and the reason why I get a funny feeling about this reading right out of the gate is I feel like this Scorpio, or the Scorpion here, and the No are giving me kind of resistant vibes. Like, either there's something going on that you're resisting, or there's something that going on that you're maybe not appreciating right now, or that's giving you trouble is kind of the feeling. Like, I feel like this No is sort of like we can't actually see what's going on. We also have the Ten of Swords here. It's sort of in the future, but it's also pointing back towards all of this stuff that's going on here. The other tarot coins are upside down, like we can't see them. Plus, a lot of these glass stones are upside down, so we can't see what they represent or what they're trying to say to us. This says your dreams are attainable. It's sort of tilted on the side, and it kind of feels like it's being led by this Scorpio, or kind of being controlled by this Scorpion. This Scorpion could be somebody that's maybe not acting in your best interest. It doesn't necessarily have, it could be somebody with the sign of Scorpio, but it doesn't have to be. Let me look at here. This is the sign of Sagittarius underneath this. This is one of those love coins, right? So, but it's the sign of Sagittarius up underneath, which is the Archer, and it's sitting underneath this. Your dreams are attainable. I kind of feel like Sagittarius is about fire and action, desire, that sort of thing. It can be about expansive thought, ruled by Jupiter. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. It can be about psychic sense, that sort of a thing. But the two of them together can also be like sort of a bad match or a bad mix in a way. It could be kind of like oil and water coming together. So it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a particular person, but there could be a situation in your life right now that's not coming together properly, and that's standing in the way of your dreams or things coming to pass. So let me look at some of this other stuff. I'm just going to move this up here really quick. So we have the Eight of Swords, but it's flipped over. Now, the Eight of Swords usually signifies about an idea of being sort of stuck, trapped, not necessarily knowing which way to go or feeling as though you can. This, to me, speaks to being in the past, maybe feeling stuck to a situation, something that you didn't necessarily desire or want, or you weren't able to get where you desired or you wanted. And I kind of get a feeling that you've sort of left that in the past. That's why it's flipped over. But it also kind of ties into sort of maybe what might be going on in this situation. If you feel like there's a push-pull going on between these two energies that's sort of standing in the way of your dreams, it might remind you of this period from the past where you might have felt a little bit more stuck. Things weren't sort of moving in your favor, stuck on like a sort of maybe a thought or a uh, position where you couldn't get out quite as easily as you would like or move in the direction as much as you wanted. It sort of feels like you might be not, I don't want to say repeating that, but feeling something that feels similar to that. Now, up here, we have dwell upon the good things and all good things will come to you. But when I flip this over, this is even upside down. So it makes me wonder, are you able to have good thoughts right now, especially with this 10 of Swords and the 8 of Swords? These are also air symbols, which have to do with the mind, right? So whatever we're thinking or wherever our head is at, coupled with this no, and sort of maybe some sort of struggle happening here, it's hard to maybe see the positive right now, is my feeling. Even if we were able to flip this over and see it, it's coming in kind of upside down or not quite right. Let's see what this one is. Everything in the is okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. So I like that. It is coming sort of upright a little bit. It's more in the future, meaning we need to get closer, further down the line to figure out what this is and how it's going to play out. It's like I almost feel like when I'm looking at these charms, somewhere we need to either get right with what's going on and get more in agreement or acceptance of it, or we need to sort of step away from it altogether, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. Let me see what this is. This is the love charm, and then is the star, which is, to me, it's upside down, but that's okay. To me, star being underneath love speaks to the idea of peace after some real struggles. The tower is a struggle of something that we have to face and deal with. Love being up above it. If I'm being 100% honest, Tammy, I feel like there's some sort of struggles you're dealing with presently that you might be comparing to the past or going, oh shit, not this again. I hope not this again. There's love to me. And that actually you're saying star, my sign of Aquarius. Exactly. The star is the symbol of Aquarius. So that's expansive, and also that's air energy too, which we have both of these to. So you have all three air elemental tarot coins up here, even though they're sort of hidden. You had this 8 hidden and the star hidden, but the star is hidden underneath this love. Star also represents sort of wishes coming true or being granted. But I think that the key here is that we need to get to this place where we start to begin to believe that this too shall pass, right? Whatever might be uncomfortable or sort of feeling like you're struggling with, because this dreams are attainable as upright, right? Even though it's sort of sideways. To me, it feels like the dreams are possible. You know that they're possible, but there's some sort of struggle in the upper, higher mind and dealing with maybe what's taken place in the past or losses that you've taken in the past that have left you feeling maybe constrained or stuck. Even though you maybe weren't actually stuck, too, that's another aspect of the 8 of Swords, is that we feel stuck or blindfolded. We don't know which way to go, but really the truth is there's always a path. There's always some sort of when the woman is tied up and she's blindfolded in the card, there's always this opening behind her. If she just sort of turns around and takes off her blindfold, she can actually get where she needs to go. So it's not a permanent thing. And this being in the past speaks to the idea that there might be, just, I don't know, scenarios in the past that may look similar to this, but they may not exactly be the same. Okay? I do think that there's hope with these three being here. I actually get, with love and the star being next to this 10 of Swords, this speaks to the 10 of Swords actually being a release or a let go that is positive. It doesn't necessarily have the negative connotation that I would normally associate with the 10 of Swords. To me, I feel like there's an opportunity here going into the future in the conscious mind to hopefully, I almost want to say like farm this love or create this love through a sense of peacefulness. But we have to get to that state of peacefulness, right? We have to get to that state of finding that peace within ourselves and believing that it's possible. Does that make sense? Hey, Alex Ortiz, the Charmings are $25. Unless you're a Patreon subscriber, then my Patreon subscribers at the highest level, they get free Charmings for subscribing over on Patreon. But if anybody wants the link to purchase a Charming, you certainly can do so, and I can put the link up, you just have to ask. But I only have about an hour, guys, so just to make you aware. So if you're interested in purchasing a Charming, you have to let me know soon. Is it still buffering, guys? Because I have a green light on my end. It looks like it's working. Oh, my neck. Okay, let me see here. Let me find the link. 1 second, guys. Okay. So here's the link for anybody that wants to do that. I just typed it in there. It's the Linktree link. If you look in there, there's a PayPal link, and that you can send me $25 and I can do a charming for you. Oh, thank you, Jen DeFiore. Thank you very much. Are you there, Tammy? Did I lose you? Because it looks like it went out in chat, the link did, so I don't know if I'm still broadcasting correctly to YouTube. I don't know. Sorry, my dog's starting to snore now. Oh, God. Oh, it's fine now? Okay, good. Thank you, Stephen. Oh, wow, you went, Mary. Congratulations for going. I'm glad you went. Somebody just sent payment. Let me see who it was. One moment. Oh, it was Alex Ortiz? Okay, perfect. Yep, I see it right here. Thank you, Alex. So, what can I charm for you? Just giving me one word or focus. Tammy, are you still here? Can I clear the board? I just want to make sure I can clear the board. I don't know if I lost my YouTubers. But Alex, if you let me know. Oh, okay, thank you, Tammy. Did that make sense, Tammy? I hope it makes sense. Okay, good. Thank you, Tammy. Oh, Ashley. Thank you, Ashley. I see your payment. You'll go next after Alex, dear. So, Alex, I show a green light. Is it buffering again, Jen? Oh no, oh no, oh no. It's bad on YouTube too, Jen. It must be my internet connection. I think it's OBS. I need to get a new broadcasting system. I think that's the problem. I think OBS just sucks when it runs. I don't think either it's my computer isn't able to run, or can somebody let me know when it's working properly? Because I have the charming up on the board. I don't want to start until I'm sure Alex can hear me and see me. Facebook is working or it's buffering? Oh, I'm good on YouTube? Okay, I don't know. Ugh, this drives me nuts. I think it might be the time of day, like maybe because it's a Sunday and I don't know. I can't tell. Okay, it's okay now? So it's interesting you do have the baby down here. You asked about the baby. So let's see what we've got going on here. It's certain. I want to see what this charm is right here in the dead center. We have the Six of Pentacles. That's a very balanced, usually about charity, sort of taking care of others, sharing what we may or may not have, you know, even if it's like small amounts, we're able to share it and being kind to others. Let me see here. And then what's sitting on this baby? The Queen of Wands. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to ask a small question here, Alex. Are you actually pregnant at this time? Just give me a yes or no. Or are you trying to get pregnant? That's what I need to know. Oh shit, it's turning red now. Fuck. Oh. I hope you can hear me, Alex. You're trying. Okay. I'm going to say this. I think that it's very possible. Part of the reason is I think that this Queen of Wands and the baby down here in the subconscious speak to the possibility of you working your own magic. Your fire, your desire is strong to do that. The Queen of Wands was flipped over though originally, right next to this baby. So to me, what this speaks about is somewhere in your subconscious, you're trying to figure out how exactly to pull this off or get yourself like sort of in the right frame of mind to be able to do that. Now, this Six of Pentacles here in the center, even though it was flipped over, this is a lovely coin, right? In the sense that Six of Pentacles is about taking what you have, even if it's meager, and sort of using it to the best of your ability, kind of sharing it with others if you need to, just sort of doing the right things with whatever you do have. But I get this sort of feeling that there might be, you may not feel as though you're completely ready at this time. That's why it was flipped over, right? Even though you may really strongly desire a baby, right? There's something that might be lingering in the background that makes you feel like you aren't sure if you're ready. This is the communication or the throat chakra stone, and I don't know why, but I get this distinct feeling. I'm not sure if you and your partner need to have a discussion of some sort, or there might be some communication that needs to take place. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. When I see this up here, this feels like possibly you and your partner and maybe said new baby, this number 3. It's in the higher mind, and it's also on the white die, which white die usually signifies either purity, sometimes connection to spirit. So, and with this one, it feels like the center, do you see the center die? Like the center dot is kind of rubbed off a little bit from being in there, which I've never noticed that, but that to me could be the baby, like the baby is getting ready to come in. You guys might be working on it in your higher minds, in your spirits, trying to come together to connect that and make that happen. It is certain bodes well in the sense that yes, we're working towards it. Yes, we'll communicate our way towards it. Yes, we will sort of figure out how to take what we have. And when I'm talking about what we have, I'm saying like even not just materially, I'm also talking about like maybe mentally or emotionally. Are we fully ready? Do we feel 100% ready to be a mom? Do we feel 100% like we have everything in place and we're totally sure? You may not, and that's okay, right? But it's like kind of getting used, getting settled into that, getting ready for the possibility of this baby. Will the baby come? Yes. You have the elephant charm, and to me, elephants are very familial animals, right? They travel in those, I don't even know what you'd call them. They're not pods, but they're like, I guess, a pack of elephants, a herd. And they have deferential like treatment towards their elders. So to me, there's a very much a focus on family, and they stay together like their whole lifetime, right? There's also a strength of purpose, a steadiness with the elephant that I think will need to take place to help to get you to where you need to go. And then we have this, which is the a wonderful journey is ahead, but it's on the clear glass stone, right? But it is uh, flipped over. And I'm not saying that that means that there's not a wonderful journey ahead. I think that it's almost like, are we, and I'm not challenging you in any way, Alex. I just feel like there's something that we want to get clear on. As we get clear on it, we sort of turn this over and we get excited and we get clear on the wonderfulness of this new baby. We understand that it is certain. We begin to communicate that. And I think that that might be sort of where you're at now, or kind of have just come out of that, right? Is the communication of that desire, that want. And we're starting to make that sort of certain and real. As we move into this, and start to get excited about the journey, I feel like this sort of flips over, and then we start to take what maybe we feel like we how do I want to say this? Like we didn't have enough of, right? Wherever we weren't ready, we start to realize that maybe we actually are, that what we have is enough, and that we have plenty to give to this baby, or, you know, and I mean, I'm not talking about just financial stuff, I'm talking about like time, love, energy, all of that sort of stuff. And as we move towards the future, right, in our higher mind, we're kind of working that out, this sort of mother, father, baby thing is kind of the vibe I'm getting here. We have the strength of the elephant, the steadiness of the elephant, being smart, methodical, strong in what we believe and how we see, and the focus being on the family. We start to move forward in that. Then we have up here, this is a little tree spirit guy, and I like that he's kind of up here too. I don't know if you find yourself talking to your angels, your guides, whatever you want to call it, but this being up here in the higher mind and this little guy being up here in the higher mind speaks to the idea that you might be talking or chatting with somebody, or you might find yourself, maybe you're chatting to baby. maybe you're chatting to baby before he's even here a little bit, or I should say this, it's interesting that you have these letters, because when I move this, I see hers, and I'm wondering if it's going to be a little girl. I don't know if that matters to you. I don't want to predict too much. I think that what's going on here is it may take a little time though. That's this down here. These two are very much in the future and very much in the subconscious, meaning, and the baby's face down and upside down, which means that like it's in my mind, kind of like a little incubation, trying to figure out how we're going to do this, which way we're going to do it, how strongly we desire it. But the Queen of Wands, she's able to pull off that magic. She's able to make that happen. She's about taking her desire, and Wands is about the fire and the spirit, right? Which we have that going on up here too. Wands is about the fire and the spirit of moving that forward and taking action in ways from deep within our desire and ourselves, but taking physical action to make those things manifest. So I think as we begin to own that desire and the strength of the Queen of Wands, we start to bring this little baby into being, right? And then up slides the baby, and when the baby's up here, boom, we actually are conceived, carrying, and there's a baby involved. I also like that we have the black 4 here. 4s always represent the idea of stability, coupled with this elephant charm. It speaks to this idea of staying stable, staying methodical, keeping that focus on the family, keeping clear communication about what you need and how you need it. And understanding that all of this is a wonderful journey, even while you're working towards this baby. Don't lose sight or get frustrated with the fact that the baby's not here yet, or that it's going to take some time. Because I feel like all of this, and Pentacles also is a very grounded, sort of similar energy to sort of like this elephant or this 4 on this black die, is to me it's about being smart, practical, not like super emotional, not super freaked out, trusting that it indeed is certain it will happen, right? And so as you move forward, positive focus, don't sweat the small stuff in the sense of, you know, you may or may not have enough. You have more than enough, actually, but you have to kind of honor that and bring this into being, because like once this becomes your true center, that's when you start to move forward in that sort of steady, you know, like that phrase, you know, an elephant never forgets. Like, so elephants also, to me, in that way, that's a form of wisdom. And so when you move in that slow, steady wisdom of all of this is a wonderful journey, it's all going to be okay, it's all going to work out, the baby will come when the baby is really supposed to, boom, 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 it starts to happen. Hi, Divine Tune Picks, how are you? Hey, Raven O'Connor. So that's what I think there. It could be a girl. I don't like to, like, I'm not a doctor by any means, but I just think that I have that there. We've got, what is this number? 1, 4, 5, 6, and then 10. Wait, is that right? That's a 6 and a 10. So that's 16, which would be a 7. So that's a conscious choice, right? 7 is a conscious choice. We need to choose to remain in the certainty that this baby will come when it's supposed to. We need to choose to remain in the excitement of this journey. We need to choose to remain in, no matter what we have, it's going to be more than enough to work with. And we also need to choose to understand that we can, the desire and the capability within us is strong enough to be able to make this happen when the time is right and we're ready. That's how I sort of see that, Alex. I hope that makes sense. If you want to take pictures of this, you certainly can. And also, this kind of thing that's happening up here is like, talking to spirit, talking to your own spirit, even talking to like out the desires of why you want the baby, how good it's going to feel like when the baby comes, like living in that reality and sort of bringing that down into our self, right? The feeling of that also helps to bring that into being a little bit. It helps to prepare us so that we're all the more excited for the journey that's happening, for the experience that's happening. Instead of like maybe having a focus of why is it not here yet, going like, oh my God, it's gonna be so great when he or she is. You're very, very welcome. Thank you for buying Charming. I really appreciate it. Please like the business page if you don't mind and follow it. Can I clear the board, Alex? Am I still broadcasting, guys? I hope I am. I haven't seen a response yet, so I don't know if. Hello. And Ashley, are you here, dear? I hope you're still here. Hello, hello. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? Oh, you can hear me, Ashley. All right, I'm gonna clear the board. I hope she got a screenshot. So, Ashley, did you have a subject that you wanted me to do? Is there a subject you want me to focus on? Like a certain area of your life? Just give me one word, or I can do a general. Okay, thank you, Jen. Awesome. I'm glad. It just got a little dead air there, so I wasn't sure what was going on, and then I was checking email too. Thank you guys so much for buying Charmings. I really appreciate it. Love life in general, whatever you're feeling. Okay, so I'm gonna just we'll see what's going on with your love life. Your love, and if I see stuff that's life oriented, I'll tell you as I go. All right, so Ashley. Okay, let's see. Oh, what's. All right, so. It's interesting we have two charms that say dreams here. It's okay, Alex. Jen got the picture for you. I just wanted to make sure, just in case, because it was around a baby. So in case you wanted to look at it, I like it when, like, I like to give people the opportunity to screen so that they can kind of look at it later and be reminded of what I said. So this says, what does it say? Sorry, believe in your dreams, and this says in your dreams. And so I'm going to say this. I feel like love is possible for you, but I feel like I don't believe that you believe that it's possible. Maybe you're a real practical girl, Ashley. I don't know. I kind of think so, only from this standpoint. You have the Queen of Pentacles here. And she is sort of, she's very much like she represents as the divine feminine. Like she can be a great, loving, wonderful, nurturing, sort of earthbound. Makes me think of the Princess and the Frog, right? That sort of storybook idea. And we have the book here, which to me this says, you know, the Queen of Pentacles, going back to this queen, she is very practical, right? She's going to move slowly. She's going to be methodical. And this might have been you more in the past, and you're still got this nature about you. But this book sitting in the center speaks to me about maybe there's been past experiences, situations you've been through, previous relationships where you've realized that there's no perfect guy out there for me, but you kind of haven't given up on that dream. That's why these are upside down like this, right? Somewhere in the back of your mind, you want that boom, soulmate, real deal, you know, knock me off of my feet kind of love. And you've probably sought it in every relationship because you've brought this Queen of Pentacles into previous relationships, right? This sort of grounded, wonderful earth mother like nature about you, where you're a nurturer and taking care of your partner. And it maybe hasn't always gone well, let's say, because that's this hardened heart. It speaks to the fact that you've been hurt maybe in the past. You haven't let it like kill you, right? I love this charm because it's a heart with wounds on it, but it's also stronger because of the wounds, and it's still a full heart, right? So when this is down here in the subconscious, it says to me, she's aware of the trials and tribulations she's been through. She's aware of the reality of those things. Are those things kind of tempering her or making her lose sight of the belief that, you know, her prince may actually come or believe that he exists? I think, and this is something that I always say with charmings, when the charm is on the board, it means the energy is apparent and available to you, right? We just may not be accessing it or being able to see it when it is flipped over like this or upside down. So what I think is that, yes, indeed, your frog prince does really exist out there somewhere, because that's why you haven't really let go of the dream. It's there because we have both of these telling us that they're there. One is almost mental and one is green, where it has to do with abundance or healing. Then this says miracle, and it's flipped over. And that again speaks to that idea of the miracle of like this sort of intense dream-like love, like almost storybook. And I think that there might be a little bit of at odds because the Queen of Pentacles might seem like she's too practical for that. Also, this book says to me, you might have too much knowledge or experience in relationships where you're like, is that really possible? Do I really believe it? Blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay, so let me flip this angel because I want to see what this angel is too, because it's important. Who is this guy? This is Samuel, and Samuel's about healing too, right? And so Samuel's like secondary. His color is like a lime green, and he is secondary to Raphael, which is the known of the four major archangels. Raphael is the one that's the healer. Samuel is also in the healing department, or like sort of he's a secondary, not secondary, but like he would also be associated with the realms of healing. So I like that he sits here too. I feel like there are blessings, there are guides around you, there are opportunities to sort of maybe heal. I should use my actual pointer. There are healing areas that it's not like I don't want to say you need to heal, right? But I feel like there's a way to blend your logical, practical self and mind and begin to believe back into the miracles that exist and could exist in your love department. Does that make sense? Because if we allow ourselves to do that, really beautiful things can transpire. Now, I will say this. Do I see a partner coming for you? Not immediately, because I feel like what's going on here is this balancing of the head and heart. We have this heart down here, we have the head here in the book. We also have the head and the heart kind of here in the Queen of Pentacles. And then we also have sort of the head and the heart in the dreams, right? Because yellow is very much a mental color to me. And then the green color is also associated with the fourth chakra, which is the heart. So we've got our mind up here, we've got our heart down here. And both of them are like, is this real? Fooling myself. I think that you haven't given up hope with these charms because there's a lot of hope in here. And what I like, and this is why I'm leading to this, is the very last charm is this half heart. Right? When I put this half heart in here, there's a secondary half heart that fits with it. And what that says to me, this is sort of like the twin flame heart or the soulmate heart. If like, and I put kind of like it as an aside. So this is to represent that sort of higher love, committed, connected, spiritual, they're, oh, this'll do kind of thing. Or I just don't want to be single. This is about finding our other half in some way, shape, or form. This is about the dream, right? The Prince Charming, kissing a few frogs, oh, this'll do kind of thing. Or I just don't want to be single. This is about finding our other half in some way, shape, or form. This is about the dream, right? The Prince Charming, kissing a few frogs until we get to the actual prince. I like this because this is in our conscious mind in this area, and it's also in the future, meaning you're leading with, I don't want to say you're half a heart because you're not a half. You are a whole complete person. But you're leading with this idea of finding somebody to balance that, to accentuate that, to complete that. Not in, don't take that in the wrong way. You are complete. Always know that you are complete, whether you're single or not. But this is about finding that other complete half or that other person that complements that. So I do feel like there will be some sort of a balance that takes place where your analytical mind and your wounded heart may actually start to communicate in such a way, because they're both on the same track. They're both in this believe in your dreams and in your dreams. They're both saying in your dreams, dear. But it's like, how do we manifest those and make them a reality? Well, the Queen of Pentacles would know how to do that, right? Pentacles is all about earth energy, manifestation, making it happen on the material plane. So I think that you have the possibility to like sort of harness the miracle of that, but you have to get around the history of your past, the knowledge that you have, whatever knowledge or practicality. If that stuff, I'm not saying that it's bad. What I think is that we have to find that sort of nice balance between the two so that we can believe in the dream, yet also manifest it in a very practical, functional way. And I think that you will do that going into the future. I don't see him, I'm going to be honest, I don't see him on the board just yet, because it's like, I feel like groundwork is being laid for you right now about, does she really think that she can have it? Does she really think that it is out there for her? I think that you do. I think you may go back and forth with that between a more practical version and then a more dreamlike storybook version. And it's like kind of finding that fair middle ground for the both of them. She shuts everyone out. It's this book, I think. I feel like you haven't given up completely. You may have to kiss a few frogs, right, as you go along, but believe in the dream. Don't give up on it, because somewhere deep inside of you, this dream exists, both mentally and at your heart level. But there's also, I think that there's the book in and of itself also creates this idea of a knowledge base or a wisdom that you have. And the Queen of Pentacles, she's very generous, she's very loving, she's very nurturing. So there is a way to take your practicality, even say, maybe if there's a slight bit of pessimism or disbelief, there's a way to move that aside and still be practical and safe, but make this sort of happen. You mean you, Jen? Yeah, you can. If you want to send me a PayPal, that's fine. I've got about 20 more minutes, and then I'm going to sign off, guys. Jen says, but Channing Tatum isn't the one. I wouldn't say that. I think that I like that this half heart is what you're leading with in the future, meaning you're going to be more open to potentially finding somebody to help enhance what it is that you already have. That's sort of the feeling. So I feel like actually that's what you'll be doing, leading with your heart more. You've got to remember too that this down here, this wounded heart, whatever experiences you've had in the past, it's like coming to terms with it and really understanding it and understanding that each and every sort of scar that's on this heart makes you who you are, right? Not only has it taught you something from the past, but it also sort of has strengthened your heart, and your heart is still whole and complete and valid and good and like a warrior heart, right? It's a good thing. The payment too. I just saw that I got payment from Judy also. Okay, so I'm gonna do Pan, Ashley, and then I'm gonna clear the board and do Judy's. And Judy, what do you want yours to be on? Awesome, I'm gonna do you next, Jen. And just Ashley, let me know if you've got a screenshot of the board. Next few months. Okay, I'm gonna clear the board. I hope Ashley got a screenshot. All right. So let's see. Next few months for Judy. Oh, whoa. All right, so one fell out. So this says if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. So we're gonna place this up here just for now to see why that was like kind of calling out, why that was kind of trying to jump into my space. So you have one Scrabble letter, it's E, which is the number one. So this is about focusing. It's interesting. We have if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. The focus is definitely on yourself in this. And then this E is like about you, right? It's the number one. Number one always brings it back to ourselves. So there is this focus about this being on the self. We're looking at the next few months. You have Krishna. This is like charming Krishna. This is like sort of maybe a Lothario or somebody that could be potentially trying to charm you, captivate you. He could be trying to sort of, I don't know, catch your attention in some way, shape, or form. Let me just look at this, Judy. What's underneath here? We have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords usually is kind of like the liar, cheater, stealer. I wonder if we're dealing with somebody that maybe is at sometimes very charming and that at other times may not be or not telling us completely everything that's going on. And I also feel like we have the Jaguar, which is very much about shamanic awareness, spiritual sort of strength, wisdom, that sort of thing. And it's laying on top of these two charms, right? It almost says to me, like, are you trusting your intuition around somebody that may be chatting you up or talking to you, maybe in the now, maybe a little bit going into the future? Or is there something that instinctually you might be feeling is off or not right? That's why this Jaguar's flipped over. It's almost to me like I feel like you might have awareness about this person where you're like, can I trust this person? Are they telling me the full story? And you're not listening to that voice is the feeling. It's not that you don't have the strength of the Jaguar or the awareness, you do. But the fact that it's flipped over is saying, no, I'm just so charming. I have such a good time with them, or, I feel so good when I'm with them, and that's okay. But you're kind of trying to believe what might be lying underneath or where they may not be telling you all of the whole full true story. And so, but do I think that this Jaguar, and I just sort of think that I want to say that doors are going to be opening up for you, and I feel like maybe in the next 3 months, I don't know why, but I feel like this key is pointing to the 3 here, and the 3 is definitely in the dead center. So if this reading is for anything, I get this 3, it feels like it's calling my attention to like maybe this reading is for the next 3 months or so, right? So we're looking at that, or keeping that in mind as we. So let's see, what's this tarot? What is that? That's the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands. Weird. Okay. Eight of Wands can sometimes signify love. It can also signify movement. It can signify a message of love. It can signify fast moving energy. Wands is about the spirit. Wands is about uh, the desire and taking action to actually move towards whatever it is that you do want. It is flipped over. I want to see what this is. This says, act as if you have, it's already scraped off, already become the person you want to be. Let me just look at all of this. So this is I know that this is the solar plexus chakra, our third chakra, our power and energy distribution. What does this say? This is believe and next to a baby. I kind of feel like, Judy, and I'm not so sure about this, but I kind of feel like this is about sort of trusting ourselves in a situation that we might feel unsafe in. This act as if you have become the person that you want to be sort of also feels a little bit like we're not necessarily willing to trust it. This feels to me like we're not able to sort of. I don't know if there's a love situation going on, Judy, for you, but I kind of feel like there might be a little bit a bit of confusion around that. It might be some mixed signals. That's also this Eight of Wands kind of flipped over. One minute they're hot and heavy, maybe the next minute they're not, or it might be you that's hot and heavy and maybe not. I feel like this also gives me the same vibe as this flipped over Jaguar. It's like not trusting that you know how to deal with and navigate this situation. Down here in the subconscious, we have this baby, which to me feels like a rebirth or a new aspect of yourself being born. And next to the believe charm, where it's like, again, we're believing in ourselves. And again, we've got this, when you believe in yourself, anything is possible. So I just want to make sure that if there is somebody you're entertaining or somebody that you're talking to, are you able to maintain sort of your own space, your own power, your own sort of strength as you're doing that? You know, I think that you kind of could if you wanted to, because there are these sort of powerful charms, but I feel like they're flipped over, meaning like, is she putting stuff on the back burner? Is she saying, no, I'll tend to them before myself, kind of is the vibe that I'm getting from this. And I think that we want to be careful with that. Not that this is a bad person. This Krishna charm speaks to them being very charming, lovable, having a really good time with them. But that Seven of Swords says to me, be careful, because they might be maybe a bit selfish, a bit narcissistic, a bit, in it for themselves. And so the truth is your focus during this whole time needs to be on yourself. And I kind of get a feeling that if you keep that focus on yourself, like we have here, and you believe in yourself, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to give up one to have the other. Does that make sense? Like, he may need to adapt a little bit to you putting yourself first, but that's okay. Allow him to adapt. I almost want to say that this Jaguar says to me that you have more strength about you in your pinky finger than he would probably have in the entirety of his whole being. And I'm not saying that in any bad way about him. I'm just saying that there's something that you need to not let go of or sacrifice in all of this, because what you bring to the table is very important, powerful, and exceptional, right? And so if he doesn't like see that or treat that or honor that, then you don't want to make not reductions, but like exceptions for that. Does that make sense? That's kind of the feeling that I get. Like, we want to have our third chakra kind of working for us. It's interesting too, because I'm looking at my screen now and I see Mary. Do you see Mary? She's like peeking out here, standing straight up out of all of the charms. Like, talk about divine feminine. I feel like she wants to join this reading. I feel like she's calling my attention there. Do you see her? Can I grab her? Yeah, she's right here. I feel like she was calling my eye right out of the... So I feel like this is about you pulling yourself first, or putting yourself first, trusting your power, your strength, your knowledge, all of that. Yes, you can enjoy this guy, this Krishna guy, but, you know, or whatever this is here, if it's fun and all of that, but don't, like, second guess yourself in an effort to keep him happy kind of thing. I care for this person, but his energy doesn't match his actions, and he stays quiet. Exactly. But here's the thing. I think that this belief charm and this Eight of Wands says that you can maybe make something here, but you need to not sell yourself out short before in the creation of this. Does that make sense? You want to empower yourself, because this says if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. That says to me that you can maybe bring him to the table, but you need to show him that the table that you sit at, everybody needs to be a winner, or else they don't get to come to the table. And I feel like that's kind of what we've got going on here. I hope that makes sense. I am going to need to get to Jen's really quick, because I gotta sign off here in a minute and feed the dogs. But just, I'm not saying don't enjoy his company, just don't sacrifice your belief in yourself. Like, don't let his weird, wonky behavior make you second guess what you know to be true. Because he may not be on the same level as you, and that doesn't make him a bad person, it just means that he may not be on the same level as you. This Jaguar charm is a very strong charm, as far as, I know, I'm sorry, Jen, she's totally snoring. And also Mary peeking out of there says to me she wanted to come out. Like, she wants to remind you of who you are as the woman that you are, and the power that that has, and the gifts that that comes with, right? And so remember that, you know, if he acts cagey or weird, then, you know, that's no reflection on you. That's more of a reflection on him. Oh, Jen Nichols, hi. I didn't know you were still here. I thought you left. It's Jen DiFiore. She bought a reading. You're welcome, Judy. Thank you for buying a charming. All right, so I'm going to clear this off. And now, Jen, you said general, correct? Jen DiFiore. Sorry, Jen Nichols. Thank you for staying on, Jen Nichols. I thought you were gone. And those of you who are watching on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up button. It helps my algorithm. All right, general for Jen. All right, we've got an N. We've got an E. Oh, if we get a J, I'm going to die. Oh, no, we got an N. Damn, I would have loved it if we got a J. All right, so it's N. It's 1, 2, 3. 3 is about, to me, the mind-body-spirit connection, right? So let me see what's going on here. We have the star here. I like that. What is that? We have the Queen of Pentacles again. Let me see what this is. We have that Seven of Pentacles, or Seven of Swords again. All right, so I'm going to say this. Again, we have the sort of liar, cheater, stealer, and this to me feels like the past, right? I wonder, and I don't know your like love situation, Jen DiFiore, but I'm wondering if there's maybe somebody that you sort of needed to part from. I don't know if you have or haven't yet. If you're struggling with somebody or something, this could be a relationship. It doesn't have to be real. I kind of get a feeling that it might be because this is the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like this Queen of Pentacles is you, and I feel like if you depart from this situation, or you allowed yourself to depart from this situation, a transformation would be willing to take place, a big and beautiful, bold transformation. That's this butterfly. But either it's one of two things. Either it hasn't settled in yet and you've departed and you haven't really reached this transformation yet, or you have yet to depart. You're still maybe struggling with what you need to do or how you need to do it. I do feel like this Queen of Pentacles was supporting the relationship, whatever this is. Like, so if it is a significant other or if it's a family member, you've been the one giving, 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 where they've been taking, 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 right? And so we kind of need to kibosh that or stop that. Now, I think if it hasn't stopped, or maybe it has stopped and we haven't gotten to this transformation yet, or the settling, the understanding that, like, you know, oh, that was supposed to take place, or thank, you know, oh wait, okay, so that becomes Zen if we and then we've got the star here, which is peace, which would be Zen. Interesting. Okay, so um, so I feel like if we haven't acquired this transformation, it's still possible for it to come to us. We might still be kind of trying to weigh out the whole totality of the experience. Even if we're still in it, we're trying to figure it out. If we're apart from it, we're trying to make a sense of it. And that's when the transformation will take place for us. Okay. We've got here the Serenity charm, right? It's flipped over. I think we're in the process of justifying whatever this was. Right? Understanding whatever this was, understanding how much we gave something that we maybe didn't need to anymore. And when we do that, I kind of feel like this butterfly comes into being and flies like more into the center. Serenity is here, but the star is also here, which is also like double serenity. This is like wishes come true. This is also that peace after a rough journey or the moment. So if the decision has yet to be made, at some point it will be. And when that happens, that's maybe when the serenity comes in. That's where the piece of the star comes in. We have this green on the charm, which also speaks to the idea of healing, right? And that sort of, again, the heart chakra, that kind of thing. And we have the clarity of this, the third eye charm, right? Which is on the clear stone. So intuitively, we might feel a little bit unsure right now, but that's okay. I feel like we could get to a place of clarity moving forward or in the future. We may not feel like we have it just yet. That's it being flipped over, but we have to get to this peace, to this calmness, to this serenity, so that we can then open up that, you know, information to ourselves, that awareness to ourselves. I do think this is supposed to be Zen, to be honest, where we sort of let go of the stuff that's no longer working for us. We blossom new, we become like this butterfly, and we have this giant transformation, which takes us to this place of healing and serenity. Now, in the future, what you've got is you've got the Merkaba, which is a very spiritual symbol. It's usually about spiritual travel, right? Like usually astral travel, that sort of thing. But when I'm looking at this, I feel like there's a connectedness, a spiritual sort of, because we've got like this serenity, we've got the clarity, we've got the star, we've got Zen, right? To me, this feels like we're feeling connected and moving forward into the future in a very sort of centered, spiritually focused kind of way, right? Where we feel complete, we feel whole, and we can move forward in a very positive, driven sort of way. And even carried in some ways, like spirit connected in the sense like, you know, idiosyncrasies or synchronicities will happen to us. Idiosyncrasies was the wrong word. Synchronicities will happen to us that we didn't see coming, but they will be sort of spirit driven, right? We also have the lizard. Lizard is about the dreaming, right? The lizard medicine is about sort of seeing the picture, believing the picture already exists, and therefore making it and creating it into reality. And what I love about this is you have the spirit on top, you have lizard on the bottom, and then you have the charm. This says trustworthy, but this is the charm for Taurus, right? And so Taurus is all about sort of grounding. Taurus brings us back full circle to this Queen of Pentacles energy back here. She's Earth, any of the, Virgo. But Taurus is about grounding, being practical, being giving and trustworthy and loving. But I love that it's sort of like that we've got this grounded charm here and we've got this spiritual charm on top in between the lizard, which is about sort of creating the fantasy or the, not, I don't want to call it a fantasy, creating the dream, seeing it and making it real. Well, these three lined up like this in the future speak to this idea that indeed she can very much do that. but she needs to attain the peace of the star, the serenity, and the like sort of third eye mental, spiritual, intuitive clarity to do so. As you come into this stuff, once you let go of whatever this sort of thing, it may already be let go of, but if it's not as of yet, you're in the process of doing that. You're in the process of bringing yourself to this centered space. From this centered space is when you start to really channel these energies, where it's a mixture of both spirit and physical, right? That's that Taurus energy. And Taurus too, the one great thing about the sign of Taurus is although it might be a little bit stubborn or moves slowly, it is also very, methodical, productive, steady. It's got that kind of a vibe to it too. So it really can be very dedicated energy too. So I like this because you have the speed or the quickness of the Merkaba, but you also have the steadiness and the groundedness of Taurus, sort of making this dream that how I've envisioned the lizard. The dream is about kind of looking at it through, say, spiritual eyes, but then believing in it enough so that you can make it happen at a material, physical level through that energy of Taurus. Hey, Tina Charlie, how are you? Oh, that's so awesome. My gram loved butterflies, and my mom. Could the letting go be of a job to move forward toward my dreams? That would be that Seven of Swords for sure. Where they're not like owning their shit or whatever. And it may be the situation is then the situation is giving to you. And so in the process of letting that go and will hopefully sort of find the ability to kind of open yourself up and transform into that butterfly and fly into the future. Dressed to go to dinner. So I thank you all, everybody who bought chartings. Thank you very much. I am going to go have dinner. I hope that made sense, Jen. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, you guys, I will see you later. Okay. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'll be on this week to maybe do card pulls or something, but please like, share, comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys all very soon. My dog's like licking my foot right now. He wants to eat. It's 4 o'clock. He's like, had it. He's like, give me food, damn it. All right, you guys, I will see you later, and thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.